Hey, hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to jump in and do a meal or a food prep, more to the point, a food prep video. I'm not really going to pull complete meals together, but what I am going to do is prep all of the food that I bought in our grocery haul. If you want to check out everything I picked up at the supermarket this week, I will link that up above and you can see everything. But today what I want to focus on is all of the fresh meat and veggies that we bought. I'm going to wash all the veggies that need to be washed, put them back in the fridge so they are ready to be eaten. And we're going to separate and package up the bulk meat that I bought so that can all go into the freezer. We're going to cook up some chicken and shred that so that is ready to go into some meals. And if I have time, then what I might do is cook up the sausages and make those 2 batches of meals that I was going to make out of that. I'm going to do a curried sausage and a sausage casserole and get those in the freezer for later on. But that's a fair bit to get through today, so we're going to see how we go and get as much done as we can so that all of that food that we just bought is ready to go and ready to be eaten and doesn't end up getting wasted. So why don't we jump in and start working on that to-do list. I'm washing the fruit and veg out just in some vinegar water before I put it in the freezer. And we're just going to keep this little production line going over here while we jump in and do a few more jobs. Like cutting up the rock melon so that it's ready to go when people want to have some fruit. So I find having it prepped and cut in a container like this, it's definitely going to get eaten. I bought quite a bit of meat yesterday in the grocery haul, so I'm going to make a start on some of this. I've actually got 2 packets of chicken breast fillets, the same size. I'm going to at least get this cooked and shredded today, so there will be 3 meals here. So the goal is to poach these chicken breasts, shred them, and then get them into single serve or single meal containers, so I can just pull out the shredded chicken breast for 1 meal and then that's ready to go. I am going to divide this 1 kilo packet of bacon up. I will divide this into 4. So this was $10 for the kilo. So I will divide this up into 4 and we'll have enough there for 4 meals out of the bacon as well. One of those is going to be used for breakfast on Sunday, but I'll have 3 more meals there, which whether or not they're used for breakfast, lunches or dinners doesn't really matter, but I'll be dividing that one up. And this massive 2 kilo packet of mince I'm going to divide and have in separate containers. So I'll get 4 500 gram blocks out of this, and that'll be another 4 meals for us. And often what I'll do using this sort of stuff, just to make it go further, is whatever meal it goes into, I will bulk out with more vegetables so it'll go further. But mince, as you can see here, is not particularly cheap. This is 3-star beef mince, so there is a bit of fat in with this, and it's still $11 a kilo, so we're going to make this all go as far as we possibly can. So dividing this one up into 4, and then if I have time, which I hope I do, I want to cook off all of these sausages. There's 24 sausages in here, and I'm going to make 2 meals out of the sausages. I'm going to do a sausage curry and a sausage casserole. So I will cook all the sausages off first and then cook the sauce and the veggies and things that go with it. But that is the plan for today. If I don't get round to the sausages, I will do that tomorrow when I do the other packet of the chicken. So I've got a fair bit of meat here to do something with, get it into the freezer so that it is ready for us to use later on. Alright, so I actually ended up doing the bacon in lots of 5. So I've got 6 parcels out of the bacon and the beef in 500-gram lots. Ready for the freezer. Chicken is poached, and I just want to say, if you guys are not shredding your chicken with beaters, you are doing it the hard way. There's our shredded chicken ready to go. So they are a 750ml container full of shredded chicken, and that is just 1 chicken breast, but that's enough for us for a meal to chuck in with some pasta or something like that. So we'll make that chicken go a lot further. I am going to get a head start on this curried sausages and sausage casserole by cooking all of the sausages off, which is one of the steps that I need to do to pull those 2 dishes together. So I'm going to go ahead today and cook all of those sausages so they are ready to go into those 2 dishes tomorrow or the day after. Alright, well it is the next day, it's the next morning. I didn't have a chance to just finish off yesterday's video and recap everything that we got done. But let's go and have a look in the fridge and I can show you everything that I did complete yesterday and how it is ready to go for the future, whether or not we use it in the coming days or whether or not it's gone into the freezer and it's ready for use later on down the track. One thing I will say just before I forget, one of the important things that I found really helpful is to make sure that when I do these food prep sessions is to keep a running list of everything that I have in the freezer in particular, so that I can keep track easily of all of the little bits and pieces like the bacon and the mince that's going into the freezer. So when I sit down to do our meal plan, I already know what's in there pretty much. I'll just go and check and see how we're going with some of those quantities, but I don't have to start a fresh list of everything that we have in the freezer from scratch every time, because I sort of keep a bit of a running list, mark things off as I go and write new things onto that list as I put new things into the freezer. So that is super helpful, and that is one thing that I need to go and do now that I have prepped everything and it's ready for storage basically. So let's go and check out the fridge and see how we're doing. All right, let's be quick before the fridge starts beeping at me, but there's that rock melon that's cut up that's all ready to go. I have found that having this cut as soon as we get it, things like rock melon or watermelon, means they're definitely going to get eaten. The hardest part is prepping it and getting it cut, because once it's cut, everyone's going to eat it. It's just nobody wants to cut it up. So that job is done and that's ready to go. The blueberries I have washed in the vinegar water, put them back into their containers. Those 2 are probably going to make it into the freezer. I have one more down in the crisper, which will be the blueberries that we use this week. But these are our extra ones that we picked up because they were a good price. I still have 1 packet of the chicken to go through, so whether or not I shred that or whether or not I slice it ready for stir fries, I haven't decided yet, but I will do something with that today and get those 3 chicken breasts into the freezer as well. Down the bottom here, they are all of the sausages that are cooked up. They are ready now to go into some dishes that I'm going to make with those. So they're cooked, they're ready to be sliced up, and cutting the sausages up is one way to make it go a lot further than perhaps what 24 sausages would go. In the back there is the shredded chicken that I did yesterday. So we have 3 meals there ready to go. I will stick those into the freezer today now that they've cooled down. there in front is some leftovers from last night's chili that we had, so that'll be my lunch today. And over here are some drumsticks that are left over from the apricot chicken that we had the night before. So I usually tend to try and cook extra of whatever I'm doing for dinner so that we have leftovers for lunch. Down in the drawer, the apples have been washed, the cherry tomatoes have been washed, capsicum's been washed, they're all ready to be used, and as you can see I've already used half of that one. They are the blueberries, the punnet that we are using this week, and the strawberries underneath, which have also been washed. So they're all washed in the just plain water with about a tablespoon of vinegar in there as well, and I just put everything back into their containers, which I give a quick wash as well, and that's how I store them. Really easy. The only thing I haven't washed really is the baby spinach, because I don't have a salad spinner. I really need to get one. Otherwise the carrots have been washed, and again just back into their bags so they store a bit easier, but all washed, all ready to be used. And I already have some of the meat in the freezer. Alright, so this is just the ice tray drawer in my freezer, but I really like using it to freeze things because it's a small little drawer, but I can freeze things so that they're flat, and then I can move those containers around later on. I don't have to worry about keeping everything level. So this is sort of my freezing drawer where I freeze everything, and then I'll move it to either the outside freezer or one of the other drawers later on. But mince is frozen, and our bacon is frozen, so they are ready to be transported. And as you can see, the inside freezer is just pretty full. I think we're good for a little bit here, but there we go. All right, well, there you have it. It's a quick little roundup of basically how I prep all of our food. Not necessarily meal prep, but I'm at least batching all of those things so that they are ready to be used, and it makes the next step of cooking so much easier because a lot of the prep work has been done already. Now you're probably picking up on the fact that I really do utilize my freezer a lot, and what I like to do is have all of those things ready, so at night when I'm cooking it's easy for me to prepare a main meal with some extra leftovers that are going to go into the fridge, and have us eat cheap, healthy, fairly frugal meals at home by having a lot of these things prepped and ready to go, which makes my job a lot easier when it comes time to pull all of the things together to actually create a meal. So of course, don't forget, if you did find today's video useful, if you liked it, if you could please give it a thumbs up. I really would appreciate that. It lets me know the kind of content you guys are enjoying and what you would like to see more of. And you know what? I would love to hear from you in the comments. Let me know what you like to do at your home when it comes to prepping your ingredients so that you're ready ahead of time to make meals. Do you like to shred your chicken, have that cooked and ready to go in the freezer? Do you cut and prep your veggies and have them cut and ready to go in the fridge? Tell me. I'd love to hear from you guys. Let me know how you make meal prepping and food prepping easier at your place. Oh, and don't forget, if you are all about that budget life too, we should totally hang out. I would love to get to know you a little bit better. So why don't you pop past, oh, that came out all wrong. Why don't you pop past Instagram or Facebook? You can find me at Nikki Bill and come over and say good day. Well, that's it from me today. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.